It's called Gay Boys Sleep Late. And this morning I'm joined by my gay guy pal, Jamal L. Starks. He's a model, spiritualist, wellness counselor, part of Queer Yoga Club Miami, HIV activist with Impulse Group, and also sits on the Men of Color Advisory Board for Viv Healthcare. Let's not forget that he walks as sex siren in a house of gorgeous Gucci. You can find him on Instagram at porcelain with a 3, all right? And you can find him there. Good morning, Jay, and welcome to my bed. How are you, boo?
Happy World AIDS Day.
Happy World AIDS Day. So thank you. Oh, I love your pin.
Yeah,
I
it
love
sits on
that.
my altar, so I had to go back and get it before I got in bed. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So, it's World AIDS Day. Excuse me. Today's December 2nd. Yesterday was World AIDS Day.
World AIDS Day.
World AIDS Day.
We're celebrating now.
And we're celebrating now because we're here and it's Monday,
Yeah.
you know? And
That's
so
what we
many
do.
so many beautiful things happened yesterday, vigils and candlelight
Yes.
vigils and, you do so much with Viv and just even without Viv, you're always out there speaking on what's going on in our community and people like yourself living and thriving.
Thriving. So thriver.
You know?
My word. Yeah, so thriving with HIV. Yeah.
Like people
20 years.
Wow. How does that
20
wash over you,
years.
Jamal? Because mind you, you're 24, so I don't know how that
Well,
happened.
I mean,
But,
when I first got diagnosed, I really didn't. My prayer when I first got diagnosed was, "Oh, let me make it 5 years." It's so funny. It was
my
5
God.
years, and then I was like, "I made 5 years. Let me make it 10 years." And then when I got 10 years, the advancements in medication and everything had come. So where I was like, "Oh, I'm going to live a fulfilled life." But when it first happened, it was a startle. It was like, "What can I do within 5 to 10 years of my life?"
Wow.
And now it's 20 years and I'm like, I got 20, 30, 40 more. Yeah. So, yeah. It feels good. Yeah.
It does. And you're also you are that pillar for other folks that are able to see, look, 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thriving. And every week you do more. Every month you do more. You don't stop.
No, that you can't. We still young.
Yeah,
We
no.
got to keep going.
We got to keep going. We got to keep going. So in just honor of World AIDS Day, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things that have to do with World AIDS Day. And I thought of no one better than Jamal to help me with that. All right. So let's talk about let's talk about World AIDS Day. And first of all, the first World AIDS Day took place on December 1st, 1988. Okay. Providing a platform to raise awareness about HIV and AIDS and honor the lives affected by the epidemic. There has been significant progress in addressing HIV and AIDS thanks to advancements in medical research, increased access to treatment and prevention, and a broader understanding of the virus. World AIDS Day serves as an important reminder that you must remain steadfast in our commitment to prevent new HIV infections and provide essential services to all people living with HIV globally. In 2024, we will commemorate the 37th World AIDS Day with the theme Collective Action, Sustain and Accelerate HIV Progress. World AIDS Day is important because it raises awareness. It's a day to bring the attention to HIV and AIDS and remind people that it's still a global epidemic. Do you speak to people sometimes that are like, well, we're going to have this forever. I've spoken to people that hope that HIV and AIDS will be eradicated by 2034.
Yeah.
But we still have so many new cases.
Yeah, that's because it's only us who are activists and advocates who really, have radicalized this message of eradicating. But, our message goes out to people in the broader world who think that it can affect them, especially people in the heterosexual community as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people walk around invincible like it's an old thing, or with the advancements of medication and things, people think that, it can't touch me because of PrEP, because of all of these advancements, or I just don't have sex with people that I'm going to come in contact with that. And, even me as an example, I am a living testimony and example to, I really thought that I was never, against anyone or having sex with anyone with HIV, before I got diagnosed, because I had seen the epidemic run through my family in the 90s.
Wow.
Some of my close relatives have transitioned due to it. So it was never something like, It was always something like, But because I have fell into an unhealthy mindset and decision-making pattern, I fell into a situation where, did, and that's my story, right?
Yeah.
I came in contact with it and got the diagnosis that I did. But yeah. It's just the mindset that people just still walk around thinking, it's that can't affect me.
We lost 32 million people.
Yeah, people don't know that. I don't think people know the impact that, just like I talk about Black people going through chattel slavery in America, the world went through a biological genocide.
Oh my God. I mean,
and I don't think people, because a lot of people aren't around to tell that story anymore, except for the few, it makes it really hard to really hit that impact with folks now because they don't know, what happened in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah, they don't know. Like, I know people like my good friend Dale Stein, who, has survivor's guilt.
Right.
About the 80s because he lost so many of his friends during that time, and those stories aren't told until World AIDS Day. Like, people don't talk about it to that degree,
Right.
What do you tell someone who says, F it, I can sleep with whoever. If I get it, there's pills for it, and that's that?
I mean, that's their choice, as long as I present the information to make them safe and make them help them make the best decisions. Like, at least there's resources out there and what to do. I can't control. I have one of my cards, my cards. You bought me these cards. They're affirmation cards, and one of them says you can't control anyone's experiences. And so that sticks with me now. Even being, doing all the things I do, spiritualist, healer, yoga, all that stuff. I can only present the material. I can't force the material you have to go through your own life's journey and experiences. So that's the best thing that I can do on this earth, is just present these examples and material, and then also live my life as a living testimony to what my story tells, and if you get any medicine or any good treatment out of my story and the way I live, then
good.
Amazing.
Then good. Then you were able to lead somebody, to water, so to speak. People think that with just meds, you're okay. A lot of those meds have side effects. I have had close friends of mine, unfortunately, pass because of cancer that they got from the meds that they were taking, not from HIV itself. And so then it's not counted as an HIV death, but it's because of HIV.
These medicines are powerful. My first medicine was a tripla. And a tripla was like the leading medicine because they were able to combine Sativa and 2 other medications into one, so you can take a 1-a-day pill. Before I was diagnosed, people living with HIV would take a cocktail, and you would have to remember that cocktail. And that cocktail was damn near like going through chemo. It was just wiping the system and wiping it out. So when I went on that, I was blessed to have gone on that, but that was a very powerful pill. It would give me nightmares. I had, there were so many bad side effects to it. And I learned, number one, that also the way I was living, my eating habits, all of that had to change because I was taking such a powerful drug. Which is what put me on my holistic journey. I would talk to my doctor, who was one of the top leading infectious disease doctors in America, in New York City. I was blessed and fortunate to have been led to this angel of a man. And he would sit me down every doctor's appointment, which was every 3 months at the time, and we would have full out discussions about what this medication was, what it was doing to my body, what I was doing to contribute to the side effects. He was like, Jamal, you're going out drinking, and at the time I was making very alcoholic. I was a flight attendant. I was traveling around
those
the world.
Little bottles,
I was going. I was in there. There were a lot of things that I did that were just irresponsible
and counterproductive to getting
what
better,
I was doing. Counterproductive to me getting better. Like, sir, you have something in your body right now that is, and at the time, my weight was, I was 90 pounds. I was
Wow.
90 pounds. Can you think of me? I look 12 now. And at the
You must
time,
look emaciated. Oh my God.
It was horrible. I walked through work one time. I was a flight attendant, and one of my coworkers, she was an older black lady, and she looked at me and she said, "You're sick, aren't you?" And I said, "Oh, what makes you think that?" Like, I was just like, "How dare you? How dare you?" And she was like, "Baby, whatever you're going through, I want you to take better care of yourself." And I was like, wow, it hit me. And she was like, "I could tell because when I first saw you, you were so vibrant and fresh." And she was like, "Right now, all of everything that was in you, I see it leaving."
Depleted. She saw you depleted.
She saw it. She was like, "I don't know what you're doing, but you need to take care of yourself." And that moment, something happened. I spoke with my supervisor, another angel. I had so many angels in my life. Who put me on FMLA.
What?
That's when I found out about FMLA. And yeah,
that's some paid off time, okay? In case you don't know.
And I was a flight attendant, so I ran to JetBlue, jumped on a flight back to Miami from New York, and I stayed in my childhood room for maybe a month and a half, just being with my grandmother and my family. And I was eating, and I started working out, and I started really taking better care of myself and realizing that, oh, I do need to take care of myself. And then I'm looking at my family. I'm like, oh yeah, I do have it. Like, all of these things just started rushing back. Like, I have a family. I have to take care of myself.
Yes.
Yeah. And mind you, Luna, take care of that.
Yeah. Our beautiful Luna likes to fart every once in a while. She's like, wow. When she's like, oh, you're in a train of thought, I'm going to break it right now by farting. Thank you, Luna. It just burned the inside of my nose a little bit, but it's okay. I know. I forgot what I was talking about too.
Y'all honestly
love. We love Luna. World AIDS Day, I think that we should all just remember all those that we have lost.
Yeah.
Know that there have been so many advancements, right? So folks out there, if you are diagnosed, this is not a death sentence anymore, right?
No.
But also know your stuff, right? Just like Jamal had to take care of himself, right? Mind, body, and spirit. It's important. Right. It's important for you to take care of yourself, to understand that it's not a death sentence, but you shouldn't just say, hey, F it. Let me just screw around. The number one diagnosed people are Black and brown people. Black and brown women, okay, in Miami are actually the number one diagnosed.
Yeah,
and that's scary to know. Heterosexual, like Jamal had said also, you think that, somebody's not on the down low. You can't be for sure. You never know what someone is bringing back to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And you never know people's sexual health ritual. Like, for me, going to the doctor now is a ritual.
Yeah.
Like,
know your status.
Know your status.
Yep.
Know your stuff.
Yep.
And also know your body, This has taken me on the journey of realizing what my blood work actually represents.
What it means.
Yes, what it actually means. Like, I mean, so my doctors don't just check you for me for like, oh, you're undetectable, you're doing good. No, it's like, okay, you're also a 40-year-old man. We're checking you for pre-diabetes. There was at a point in my fitness journey where I was pre-diabetic.
And look at you.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of what I was eating.
Yes.
Because of what I was ingesting.
Yes. And
he was
the schedule that you were keeping, all of that.
All of the things. There was a time where my kidney function, and this had nothing to do with HIV or my meds, my kidney function started to deplete. There's so many things, prostate health. There's so many things that I was like, I was just so oblivious to all of the things that I was supposed to be checking on. And it's not because I was diagnosed, it's just because now I go to the doctor regularly.
Yeah.
And so I get all of these things checked. Like, sir, my foot, it's hurting. What is going on down there? And so this is now preventative care to maybe something else that might be underlying, instead of catching it, when there's a problem already.
Yeah. Listen, anything early diagnosed is the best way to go. And, like Jamal said, like, know your status. I know that LGBTQ plus folks, we have issues with healthcare. We have issues with healthcare practitioners, because most of them don't know what we're going through, right? So you go to a clinic or you go to a place that knows LGBTQ. You can look that up online and get the best care that you deserve. Before we move on, I have to ask you though, are you worried about like Trump appointed this guy RFK who doesn't even believe in HIV? He thinks poppers gives people how does
okay, so again, I worry for me, no, because I know how to take care of myself. I know how to read my charts and everything. Worry for where healthcare is going because it was already broken. We saw that in 2020. We saw the broken parts of healthcare in 2020. If you didn't see it, I don't know what you were doing, but we saw the broken parts. And so last year, they were trying to eradicate the HIV funding. There is something called AIDS United, and they have, oh God, I can't remember the exact name. My friend Dantes would be like, Jamal,
I can't believe it.
He's like the proponent of it. But on March 15th and 16th, and on the third week in March, we have the Florida AIDS Walk, of course.
Yes.
And then also in D.C., we have the legislation where they meet, Congress meets to listen to advocates of AIDS, put in legislation for HIV. Last year, they tried to slash the whole damn thing. So this was under a Biden administration. Now we have a Trump administration.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to get their way this time. And so what we're doing, I think it's March 16th or 17th, it's a week where you go and advocate, protest for, and go in front of Congress to legislate for HIV care, AIDS care, all of those things, and put into law and legislation to protect these things. Now, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Trump is already saying what he's doing with a whole bunch of other stuff, like banning trans people out of the military, all of these other things, all of the propaganda that he's coming out with. So most likely he's going to get his way. And so what I'm telling people now is you have to protect yourself. You know, you can't rely on the healthcare system or us as, you know, Impulse and AHF and all of these organizations that we work with in community partnership with. You can't rely on them to save you anymore.
To do all your work.
No,
Yeah.
no. You can know that we're a resource to come to, Pride Lines, any of these places. But it's now time to do if you're not doing your research, I'm afraid for the next 4 years that people are really going to be in a way that's not good, you know?
Yeah.
You know, even with gay marriage and stuff, if you're not putting in your protections now, to set yourself up, to protect yourself, to have these things in place, and being very aware of your own health, your own household, what's going on, your bills, what you're involved in. If you are not aware,
get aware. Get aware with a quickness, you know, because one thing is your finances and your life. The other one is your health. You know what I mean? Like, you can't pay your mortgage if you're sick.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, so F all that, because if you're not okay, you understand? So,
and people like me and you use our bodies to be present in order to make our money and things of that nature. Like, and a lot of people do, you know, and I don't think people really know the impact of what's coming. Before, when Trump was in office, we went into a pandemic. 2016 to 2020, we were probably the most unhealthiest we were in the world. And it led us to all of us being stuck in a fucking house. Like, I never thought in a million years. When it happened, I was like, what's going on?
I'm in a dream. This is so crazy.
I was like, this is,
you know, and even worse, here we are in 2024 and everybody forgot.
Everybody forgot that in March of 2020,
the world stopped. Yeah.
For a whole year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody forgot about it.
And now we're back.
It never happened. And we lost all these people that died with something that really occurred. Not like some of these people that thought that COVID didn't exist either.
Just like HIV and AIDS. When we went through that era. Crack, HIV, AIDS, all of the things. We lost people. And we just keep moving forward as if we're not losing people and we don't need to take care of ourselves and take inventory of that.
Well, folks, so today, right, on December 2nd, it being, you know, yesterday being World AIDS Day, we stand in solidarity with all people that are living, thriving, have family members, right? Because when you have anything, you're not going through it by yourself. It affects the people around you as well, you know? So like Jay said, find a core group, find a healthcare system that understands what you're going through and will follow you step by step and will take you through this rough patch that will be the beginning of Trump's presidency. Yeah. But know your shit. Get educated. Read up on what's going on, because like Jamal said, you can't expect for other people to do it for you. It's just not going to happen.